Welcome to Key West.
I've never driven a jet ski.
So much fun.
So you're going to make a key lime pie. I'm going to show you how easy this is.
All right. So we are heading out for a sunset cruise.
Cheers.
It was the first home of Robert the dog.
All right, here we go. Time to go snorkeling.
There they are again, popping up right here.
Welcome to the third episode of our Ultimate Florida Keys Road Trip series. Last week we showed you all the fun you can have in the Middle Keys, from shark feeding to wakeboarding. And today we arrive at the southernmost point of the continental U.S. and the unofficial capital of the Conch Republic, Key West. We're Howard and Caitlin Newstate, world travelers and full-time RVers who've been exploring North America and beyond. Our passion is sharing the wonderful and sometimes challenging parts of our life on the road with you, taking you off the beaten path, meeting interesting people, and trying new things. Each week we bring you along with us to explore unique things about every new state we visit. All right, we are all checked in here at Boyd's Campground.
Yep. We are right on the water. Can't wait to see it. Not too bad, right? Welcome to our home. Look at this. Right on the water.
Beautiful.
Oh, man. Wow. This is great.
One of the most sought-after campgrounds in the Keys, Boyd's has a special story that we think really sets it apart.
The park was founded in 1963 by Boyd and Elsie Hamilton, my grandparents, and started out as a small piece of land that they built a house on and opened up the campground. In the first couple of sites, in first couple of seasons, was about 20 to 25 sites. They added to the park, improved the park into what it's known today. It's a 13-acre waterfront piece of property with about 200 RV sites. You come a long way from those early days. He was quite the visionary with camping. He's always been a camper. He made his first truck camper and traveled around the country, originally from Saskatchewan. And you know, he was traveling around visiting different states. He got to Florida and said, hey, you know, if these guys can make a living, so can I. So the next summer, he packed up all his belongings and traveled south.
So what started as a dream turned into a legacy, with 3 generations now involved in the family business. Boyd passed away in 2002, but Elsie is very much still around and active here at the campground.
Elsie knows that it's taken a lot of hard work and multiple generations to get to the place that we're at today. She's very proud of it. She comes in after church on Sundays and delivers cheeseburgers to all the employees and makes sure you know, they're happy too, because they really are a part of the family and they're representing Boyd's Campground.
So my favorite part of the park, we are almost to it right now.
Wow.
So this area over here is our lounging beach.
Oh.
So this is also where we do all of our kayak rentals, our paddleboard rentals. So as you can see, it's really pretty back here.
From a views standpoint, this is one of the best campgrounds that we have stayed in. It's so nice just to be able to open up our door, look out and see the water, watch the sunset. It's gorgeous. We clean up nicely. As a welcome to Key West, we are heading out for a sunset cruise.
Cheers.
So we made it on the boat. We are going on a sunset cruise with Sebago Watersports.
And for $10 more, you can get an upgraded wristband. There it is. And that gets you kind of like top shelf liquor. It's all unlimited drinks for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Not bad.
You're gonna want to pace yourself, that's for sure. We haven't even left the dock yet.
Nope.
We also have live music, which is great. And we're gonna set sail and go watch the beautiful sunset.
Sunset's kind of a big deal. Have you figured that out yet?
After we all grabbed a Bon Voyage drink, the crew raised the sails and it was time to venture out past Sunset Key for the best views of the sinking sun. With live music throughout the 2-hour trip, an open bar, and delicious hors d'oeuvres, it's easy to see why this is one of the most popular ways to kick off a trip to Key West. Howard.
Yes.
Are you excited?
I am. I've never driven a jet ski.
Oh boy.
So the power, I just don't know what to do with my hands yet.
I'm glad that we each have our own now.
What could possibly go wrong?
There's a handle on the back you pull yourselves up on. Don't climb on from the side. It's got a V hole, so if you end up pulling on from the side, it may roll that ski over pretty easily. Take that lanyard right there. Undo one of your buckles from your link vest, run that buckle through, and then clip it back up. That guarantees that if you fall off, pulls that kill switch, jet ski doesn't end up in Cuba, Miami, Mexico, wherever it wants to go at that point. At idle speed, it's just a little faster than you can swim.
On this 90-minute guided jet ski tour, you'll glide through both the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, completing the 26-mile loop around the entire island of Key West, stopping for stories and history along the way.
Mud Keys is named after Dr. Samuel Mudd, who was a prisoner down back in Dry Tortugas.
Caitlin, what do you think so far?
So much fun. It's a beautiful day out here on the water. So watching a guy try to reel up a 200-pound fish.
It's a great way to learn about the island while also having fun out on the water. You can book either a single or double jet ski depending on your comfort level or the type of experience you want.
All right, well, we finished the 26-mile loop. What did you think?
I loved it. As a first-time driver, I've been on the back of one before, but I've never actually driven one. I thought it was really easy, and the 27 miles goes real quick. Somebody was just asking us, like, did it feel long? And no, it didn't. It felt really fast. Like, it went by super fast. I didn't even realize it had been 90 minutes till we came back.
And our guide, Milo, was excellent. He has spent so many years here and knew the island so well that really added to the experience, too.
Yeah, so, Milo, they call him Mile Zero, just like the mile marker 0.
The water is so crystal clear. Most of the time you can actually see the bottom as you're driving along. So if you have a fear of like really deep water, don't worry about that because you're not in deep water at all.
In fact, when we were over, I guess it was the Gulf side, and they let us just run around and play, you could do donuts, do whatever you want. It was only like maybe 2 or 3 feet deep. And going through the mangroves at Stock Island, that was one of my favorite parts.
This is absolutely incredible.
They have these really narrow little channels that go in between the mangroves, and you get to drive through those, and that was fun.
This is actually my second time taking the jet ski tour with Barefoot Billies, and both times have been phenomenal. I highly recommend them.
My suggestion would be, if you can, try and rent 2, so that way each person has one, because I think the experience of being able to drive one yourself and kind of have that, you know, experience of riding up and down on the waves and stuff is so much fun.
Our next stop is a bit of a Key West staple. It's amazing that we've made it this far into our road trip without having any key lime pie, but there's a big reason for the wait.
All right, Kermit, what are we about to do?
We're going to make a key lime pie.
That's right, we're going to learn from the king of key lime pie himself, Kermit Carpenter, the founder of Kermit's Key West Key Lime Shop. Say that 5 times fast.
But I've never made a key lime pie.
It's the easiest pie you can make.
Yeah?
Simple ingredients: sweetened condensed milk, egg yolks, a crust, and Kermit's Key West key lime juice. That's all we need.
So before we get started, what's so special about Kermit's?
It's a double strength juice that gives a little more pucker to the pie.
And so how did you get started in all this?
My grandmother lived down here when I was a young kid, so I got to come down one Christmas to visit. And she taught me how to make key lime pie, and I've been making them ever since.
Kermit opened his key lime shop 30 years ago in an old rundown fishing area of the island, hoping that future revitalization plans would work to his favor. And 3 locations later, they're making over 200 key lime pies a day. Kermit is so synonymous with key lime, he was even a question on Jeopardy!
What's lime? Key lime? Key lime, that's it.
So what is the difference between a key lime and a regular lime?
A key lime has a lot more pucker to it. There's a lot more acidity to it. It's a much smaller lime, so it takes a lot more fruit. Now you're going to whisk that up.
All right, got my trusty whisk here. Oh, it's thick.
Not as thick as it's going to be. In the old days, they didn't put this in the oven. Down here, you didn't want the heat. It was cooked by the temperature of the room.
Wow.
And the chemical reaction of the juice.
So we got some science going on.
Now you've got that pretty well blended.
Okay.
So that the egg's not showing. That's the big mistake people make, is they put the juice in first, and then the egg will curdle because the chemical reaction will make it lumpy. Watch the chemical reaction here that's going to happen. While you're stirring that, I'm going to add juice.
Okay.
And it's going to be thinner for a little bit, and then you're going to see the chemical reaction take place.
Is this a good speed?
That's good speed.
Oh yeah, it's getting thicker already.
That's it.
That's it?
That's it. You've made a key lime pie.
It's that simple.
It's that simple.
That's amazing. Wow. I had no idea it was that easy.
You can also grab a delicious breakfast or lunch at Kermit's.
The most popular sandwich is the Cuban mix.
Everything is homemade, and the bread for the sandwiches is from a local baker. And of course, we had to get our long-awaited key lime pie fix.
Your strawberry key lime pie, your coconut key lime pie. This is the traditional key lime pie, but we've got a gluten-free crust.
I still can't believe I got to make a key lime pie with Kermit himself. It definitely makes it a little bit more special. visit Key West, you'll see these awesome conch trains all around the island, and we highly recommend booking a tour because you'll learn so much about the history of Key West. And the really cool thing is you get a sticker and you can hop on and hop off all day long at different stops. It's a great way to get around.
Each conductor has their own stories they like to tell about the history of Key West. You'll pass by iconic spots like the southernmost point, where you can stand in line for a picture, cruise down Duval Street, and through some neighborhoods to check out the island vibes of the architecture. And hot tip, if you book your tickets online, you can save almost $15 on your ride. Another great spot we recommend visiting, and you can hop off the conch train near this location, is the Key West Butterfly Conservatory. You can stroll through the temperature-controlled habitat and observe around 50 different species of brightly colored butterflies, learn about their life cycle, and watch them in action.
We did this.
I've never in my life seen anything like this.
We were in Mexico, we got to see them.
Two of the most famous residents aren't butterflies at all, but a pair of flamingos, Rhett and Scarlet. They were rescued from a breeding facility in Canada when they were just 17 months old. The now 9-year-old flamingos call the conservatory home and have quite a fan following.
Some of you know, but Key West is only 94 miles away from Cuba. So there's a lot of Cuban food and a lot of Cuban people down here. And if you're looking for Cuban food, it's a little bit closer to 94 miles. In fact, it's about 150 feet away from our campsite.
Parked right at the entrance of Boyd's Campground, you'll find Christy and her De Luna Cafe food truck. After losing their first location during Hurricane Irma, transitioning from a restaurant to a food truck, and bouncing from location to location, an old classmate reached out to her.
Thank God, heaven sent, Sean, he reached out to me on Instagram because he's seen my posts. And I went to school with Sean my whole life, so I've known him forever. He's local, I'm 6th generation Conch, born and bred in Key West. So we came, long story short, here we are 2 years later. This June makes 2 years, and it couldn't have gone any better. I mean, it's working out great for the campground, it's working out great for us. We still are able to serve our locals, serve tourists and everything. So all in all, we're happy, they're happy, campers are happy. So it was kind of one of those things that was just meant to be.
That's awesome. And the food is delicious. You guys, tell me about the pastries. You bake those every day?
Yeah, we bake them every morning. They take about 30 to 45 minutes to bake. And then we put a nice egg wash on top of them. And then we do a nice little sugar glaze and everything. We can't give you all of our secrets, but we bake them fresh every morning. The guava and cheese that you had, those are my favorite.
Tonight, we're doing something a little bit different. This is the Key West Ghost and Gravestone Tour. And as the name suggests, this is about the spooky side of Key West.
Okay, we love learning about the darker side of the places we visit. You see, we have a bit of a dark tourism thing going on. We're drawn to the places and stories that shape history or might be a bit unconventional. So when we saw there was a Ghost and Gravestones tour diving into the not-so-sunny side of Key West, we were in. The theatrics and storytelling are great, and you'll hear all sorts of tales during the hour-long tour, including one of Key West's most infamous stories, the one about Robert the Doll.
It was the first home of Robert the Doll. So she put that doll up in the attic turret room of the house.
We also got off the bus and entered a closed museum.
Always like to see who's at the front of the bus.
Which is spooky enough by itself, but the history of what happened on this watchtower is enough to send shivers down your spine.
Somebody just walked by and said, "You've seen one ghost, you've seen them all." I couldn't agree more.
I'm happy to report that we survived. No spirits got us. That was very well done.
It's an excellent tour. They take you all around the island. They take you inside of another museum, so that way you can experience what it's like at night. And we have some pictures that we took, and we may have captured a spirit. We'll see.
Yeah.
My name is Howard.
But Howard
I'll be your driver tonight.
is an excellent driver.
Yeah, he navigates that big bus around these tiny streets and makes it look very easy, and it is not.
From one Howard to another, he did a really great job.
It's an exciting morning for us because we're getting ready to go out on a dolphin watch and snorkel tour. But the unique thing about Honest Eco Tours is that this is the first hybrid electric boat in the Keys. It's powered by lithium-ion batteries.
Welcome aboard, guys.
Thank you.
The eco-friendly boat was built by the company's owners and is ideal for dolphin watching since it's extremely quiet. The other unique thing about taking a tour with Honest Eco is that your guides are biologists and are actively studying dolphin behavior in these waters. And sure enough, they knew exactly where we could find a pod of dolphins.
One of our first goals when we see the dolphins, like I said, we want to interpret their behaviors. We'll try and narrow down, just to begin, which third they're. There they are again, popping up right here. They try and get a better look at them. We saw some kind of lazy, playful behaviors. Definitely not any kind of hunting behavior we're seeing here. Could be either sleeping or playing. Those are kind of the thirds of a dolphin day. About 8 hours of sleeping, 8 hours of kind of playing, traveling around, goofing off, 8 hours of hunting and fishing. If they're coming up every 5 to 10 seconds pretty consistently, that's a sign of sleeping, kind of lazy, cruising up and down. If they're going down for long periods of time, several minutes, that can be more of fishing. That's indicative of fishing behavior.
After watching the dolphins for a bit and refueling with some healthy and organic snacks, it was our turn to hop in the water for some snorkeling around a coral reef. And before we knew it, the 4 hours was up and we were heading back to dry land with a better understanding of marine life around Key West.
Mallory Square, the quintessential way to end the day in Key West.
This is the sunset celebration and you have to come and check out all the amazing street performers, grab a coconut or a pineapple as you watch the gorgeous sunset.
We've had such a great time, but unfortunately this is also the end of our Keys series.
And a big thanks to the Florida Keys for helping us showcase this amazing part of Florida and share it with you all.
If you haven't seen the rest of our series, check out the playlist now.
Thanks so much for watching.
See ya.